Today we're going to learn how to use all of our senses to really enhance the wine tasting experience. When you first see a glass of wine, you take a look at it. You're looking at the color. Does it look red? Does it look white? Today we're going to focus on the white, but we're going to talk about the same principles with red, so you'll be able to do this for both. First, we want to look at the wine itself. When we want to look at the color, we take a white napkin or any type of a white backdrop. You put the wine up against it and you ask yourself a couple of questions. First of all, is it darker in color or is it light? Is it pale, straw? If it's lighter, it's probably a younger wine. If it's darker, it's probably got a couple of years of age on it. Wines tend to get darker as they get older. The same is true for red wines. You're going to ask yourself, is the wine bright? Does it reflect light? If it does, then it's a clean wine. It's been made really well. So you're going to look at it in terms of the intensity of the color and also whether or not it reflects light. The next step is actually the most important part of wine tasting, and that's the smell. Why do I say it's the most important one? Because we can smell hundreds upon hundreds of different aromas. We can only taste 4. We can taste sour, sweetness, saltiness, and bitterness. But when we're talking about flavors of smell, the aromas that come through a wine, the sky's the limit. So how do we do it? We want to volatilize it a little bit, swirl it around, get the flavors released into the glass. Once you do that, you're going to have to smell it. And to do that, you stick your nose right into the glass and get a good whiff. When we're talking about a white wine, we're looking at different types of flavors. It might be a citrus flavor, like a grapefruit or a lemon, or even a bell pepper. If we're talking about red wine, we have black cherry, coffee, sometimes chocolate. It can even be a licorice type of aroma that comes through a red wine. Those are the typical ones when we're talking about red wines. Sometimes not all the smells are that good. You may have a wet cardboard smell, which means your wine is tainted. If you get that type of aroma, you want to return it to your waiter or the person who sold you the bottle of wine. The next step is the tasting part. It might be somewhat anticlimactic because we've already smelled so much of the wine and identified a lot of the flavors. What we want to do is take the wine and let it sit on our tongue for a minute, and we're going to suck air in over the top of that. When we do that, we're going to bring out all of the flavors of the wine. It's going to look a little strange at first, and it may feel strange, but if you try it once or twice, you'll get the hang of it, and it really does help enhance the flavors. I put the wine all over my tongue. Therefore, I'm picking up all of the taste sensations that we can taste, and I also can pick up the acid in the back of my tongue, that sharpness, that crispness. So it really is a way to enhance the flavor of wine. It looks a little silly. You may not want to do it in a restaurant, but when you're at home by yourself and you really want to learn about wine, give it a shot. You're able to then bring forward all of your senses to really enjoy your glass of wine. When we tasted a glass of wine, the first thing we did is look at it. We looked at it for color and clarity. Then we smelled it. We got lots of aromas out of it. Then finally, we tasted the wine, and we did that by putting it on our tongue and bringing air back over the top of it. So together, all of those senses work together to help us enjoy a glass of wine.
A copy of the program you've just seen can be purchased through Penn State Media Sales at mediasales.psu.edu or by calling 800-770-2111.